If you haven't used dynamic ad insertion in your podcast yet, now is the time. Up until recently, whenever you heard an ad on a podcast, it would be baked in, meaning the host would read that ad during the recording or put it in afterwards. They would produce the MP3 file, and then everything would stay the same forever. With dynamic ad insertion, you can actually input timestamps within your episodes that you can then dynamically insert different ads and different sponsors in the future. Not only can you change the ads that appear in those episodes, but now it gives you the ability to sell to a sponsor your entire back catalog of episodes. So if you'd like to start using dynamic ads, there's lots of podcast hosting providers that give you that ability. Buzzsprout allows you to add dynamic ads to your pre or post roll. That means you can insert a 30 or 60 second or however long clip of audio, and it will appear at the beginning of every episode that your listeners download. Or you can choose to do it at the end. But other hosting providers like Transistor allow you to specify a specific timestamp in the middle of an episode or multiple timestamps throughout the episode. Then in the future, you can insert ads at those timestamps whenever you would like, and you can change them at will. What happens is when you insert a dynamic ad to your podcast, your hosting provider will change the file that is downloaded by your listeners to include the ads that you specify. Depending on the format of the show, you definitely want to be intentional about leaving a space for the ad. You can even choose to add a "we'll be right back" or "now back to the show" within the actual recording. This way your dynamic ads feel a little more natural as they're inserted. Also, if your show uses embedded chapter markers or custom chapter artwork within your audio podcast, those may not work with dynamic ads. But if you're starting a new podcast today or want to increase the monetization options for your show, using dynamic ad insertion is a powerful tool. Especially if you have a new show, I would recommend starting to add those timestamps with your new episodes, even if you don't have sponsors yet. The benefit will be, one day when you do get a sponsor, you'll be able to add their sponsorship spot across all those episodes that you've already included timestamps from the beginning. Here's what it looks like to use dynamic ads. With a host like Transistor, you would go to something called Campaigns, and here you can create a new ad to be inserted into your episodes. This would be the audio file that you record that is just that one specific ad. Remember, you can add multiple timestamps for multiple ads even within an episode. Once you've uploaded your ad audio, an MP3 or M4A file that's specifically that sponsorship, then you can create a campaign. When you create a campaign, this could be a pre-roll, mid-roll, or post-roll. Again, a pre-roll audio dynamic ad will appear at the very beginning of an episode before the full audio plays. A post-roll audio is the opposite. It will play at the very end of an episode. A common practice are mid-roll ads. This way a listener has already heard much of the content, is engaged in listening, then you can serve them an ad and return to the show after that. You see I've created a mid-roll ad here with an ad that's about 2.5 minutes long. I can preview the audio of that ad specifically, and some hosting providers even lets you input custom links and text in the episode show notes. So if you'd like to add that special text for a sponsor, but only on the episodes where their ad is inserted, you can choose to do that here in your hosting provider. Once you have your audio file and campaign set up, now you can go and mark a timestamp within an episode. Again, here in Transistor, I can choose the timestamp where I've intentionally left a small break for an ad, and a 1 or 2 second break won't sound awkward if you don't have an ad just yet, but it's enough of a break to add something and it won't feel too crowded or rushed. Let's say this is the exact moment I want to dynamically insert an ad in the future. I can add this as a timestamp and hit save. Now, whenever a listener downloads this particular episode, that ad will be inserted at that timestamp for their audio file. And then if a sponsorship ends, you can remove these dynamically inserted ads, and listeners from that point forward, when they download this episode, they will not receive that dynamic ad. So that's the difference between a baked-in podcast ad and something that is dynamically inserted. Dynamically inserted ads can still sound just as natural as baked in, especially if you time them well or place them well within your episode. And if you make those timestamps and do the work now on your episodes, especially if you're starting a new show, you will greatly benefit later so you can sell your entire back catalog of episodes to a new sponsor. If you'd like to learn more about dynamic ads or anything about podcasting in general, subscribe to the Riverside channel. We have great content on how to start a video podcast, automating your podcast publishing, and a ton more. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next video.